Pink strands of hair falling across his eyes, Harlan shoots a glare and folds his arms tight.
I'm not wearing that.
Evelyn, his mother, frowns as she holds out one of her bras to him, tutting in disappointment.
Sweetheart,
She says softly, dropping it into his lap.
I know Grandma Doris has blindsided you with this, but right now, you're a very curvy young lady, and it simply isn't proper to be without suitable attire.
For a moment, silence falls as Harlan stares at the bra like it might bite.
Harlan,
Evelyn sighs.
it's just not that deep. So put on what I've suggested, and then we can both go down and have dinner with the rest of the family.
Harlan throws his head back in frustration.
Erin's gonna make fun of me for sure. Look.
He points down at the simple strap dress he's been given, and then he dangles her bra out between his fingers.
I don't want to wear any of this. I want to go hide in my room until tomorrow when this FemiNova crap wears off. Erin probably will, yes,
Evelyn admits with a shrug.
but I'd be more worried about your little sister Suma, honestly. Suma? Really? Yes. What you've got to understand is that for a woman in this family, there is no greater honor than being bestowed with the gift of FemiNova. Suma is desperate for me to pass it on to her. She's going to be angry to find out that you, her brother, have been given that honor before her. I didn't ask for it!
Harlan throws the bra in his hand down onto the pile of clothing that's been set out for him.
Granny tricked me! Young man... Lady,
Evelyn tuts.
she wouldn't be happy to hear you say that. Do you realize that after a few days, your gran won't be able to use her FemiNova powers anymore? Your father's mother is much stronger than I am. Stronger than my own mother, too. She's the one letting you inherit that. I didn't ask. Well, you've got it now, little miss.
Evelyn interrupts with a snap of her fingers and points at the clothing.
You're just gonna have to get over it and grow up. Sometimes you will be a boy. Sometimes you will be a girl. It's not that big of a deal. You're still the same person, and right now, young lady, you seem pretty ungrateful.
Evelyn reinforces her point with a hard stare.
Do you understand, Harlan?
She says, her voice rising slightly.
Oh, fine.
He huffs.
But you're explaining this to my school.
Evelyn looks away in thought as Harlan gathers all the clothes he's borrowing from her.
School,
She says lightly on her breath as she thinks.
might be better for you if you don't go to school as your FemiNova self. Agreed,
Harlan says.
I'll enroll you at Suma's school.
Evelyn claps her hands together.
That way, when you're in your FemiNova form, you won't miss out on your education.
Harlan freezes, and the blood drains from his face.
Suma's school? That's an all-girls school, Mom. Yes,
She nods and smiles.
it is indeed. You can't make me go there.
Harlan shakes his head and bites his bottom lip.
That's awful. I'm a guy. I can't go to an all-girls school.
Evelyn looks him up and down with a wry smile, pointing out the gender he's sporting. Harlan looks down at his body and then lets out a long breath.
This is just
He looks up at the ceiling in frustration.
the worst. Suma's gonna make fun of me now. Like, do you even realize how awful this is for me? Not only do I have to get used to looking like this,
He gestures down at himself.
but you want me to go to a new school as well? Where I don't have any friends? You'll know your sister. Mom! Oh, Harlan, honestly. But I mean, have you even thought this through? How can I go to both schools?
Evelyn pauses, humming thoughtfully before she smiles.
We'll tell each school that you're being homeschooled some of the time. That should keep them from questioning your attendance.
Harlan blows a raspberry in frustration.
Look, Harley, please. Just give it a chance. I know this is very unorthodox, but look on the bright side. You get to reinvent yourself at a new school, and it gives you a break from those awful bullies. Yeah, but...
Evelyn's face twists into something more stern, but Harlan continues his thought.
If I go to a different school, I can't beat Ben up as a girl and make him a laughingstock. I thought that was why Granny gave this to me. Now, young lady.
Evelyn wags her finger.
FemiNova powers aren't meant for personal gain. Understood?
Evelyn lowers her hand.
Yes, that boy Ben could certainly use a stern talking to. But you haven't even begun learning to control your powers. We'd rather not you accidentally send him flying off the planet, wouldn't we? Well, that's the plan.
Harlan grumbles petulantly under his breath.
We don't even know what your grace is yet, let alone how physically strong you are.
Standing at the door with a thumb over his shoulder, pointing to his bedroom, Harlan gives his mother a silly smile.
Right, I get you, Mom. Sheesh. I'll go change in my room, okay?
Oh. Evelyn nods once, a little surprised.
Do you want me to help you?
Fighting with hair in his eyes, Harlan turns up his nose and pulls a face.
No, I don't need help. Mother, they're just clothes, remember?
Harlan, do you really not need my help? His mother repeats, fixing him with an expressionless stare. An awkward silence lingers as Harlan's eyes drift back to the bra resting boldly on top of the pile of clothes in his hand.
Yes, please.
Harlan mutters bashfully, completely changing his attitude.
That would be helpful.
Evelyn steps closer, her arm resting gently around her new daughter's side. A warm smile forms as their eyes meet. Both entering his bedroom, she takes in the scattered mess before her gaze settles on a nervous Harlan, inspecting his outfit.
I'm sorry you have to borrow my clothes, Harley. Not the coolest for a teenager, huh? I wouldn't want to wear Suma's clothes, Mom, so it's fine. We'll get some of your own, okay?
He furrows his brow before turning his attention back to the dress. He holds it up to himself and presses it against his body to see what it might look like on.
First, take off your boy clothes. Next, put on that underwear and then pull the dress over your head,
Evelyn explains.
Yeah, thanks, Mom,
he says, his tone dripping with sarcasm.
It's more the...
He lifts the bra from the pile.
It's more this thing.
His eyes drop to his chest.
I know how to dress myself, Mom, but these...
He waves his hand around his chest.
These are very new to me.
I gathered that, sweetheart. She replies plainly, putting her hands on her hips.
But
She lingers on her words, worried.
I'm also here to support you, for when you notice that something might be, well, missing.
Harlan's face pales, his mouth falling open as he leans forward, looking down at himself.
Oh, don't be so dramatic.
Evelyn reacts, stifling a laugh.
It'll grow back when you switch to being your normal self, okay?
Lowering his pants, Harlan just stares emotionless.
How did you know?
He asks bluntly, starting to remove his jacket.
I thought FemiNovas were passed on from mother to daughter. So how do we know I'm gonna change back? What if I don't? What if I'm now stuck this way? Huh? 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 Oh my.
Evelyn giggles, covering her mouth with one hand.
Maybe your grace gives you a real flair for the dramatic, Harlan. You're being such a drama queen in your femi state. What?
Harlan throws his school jacket onto the bed.
I am not.
R2.
Am not.
Harlan grits his teeth.
I think it's more reasonable for me to worry, Mom, considering only a few hours ago I was a boy, and now I'm a girl.
Yep, your grace's def has something to do with being a drama queen.
What an interesting and unique ability that'll be for you. You're enjoying this too much.
He sighs, then looks up with a sour expression.
What's this you keep saying about a grace, Mom? Other than being super strong, I get another ability?
Uh-huh. Evelyn nods and points.
Your unique grace ability appears to allow you to channel your inner prima donna. Oh, come on, Mom.
Harlan whines.
Please stop ribbing me already. You're worse than Aaron and Suma combined.
All right, fine. Sorry. Evelyn reaches for the bra.
Look, take off your shirt, and I'll help you with your underwear.
Evelyn gently lifts Harlan's arms and slides the bra straps over his shoulders, adjusting the cups carefully against his chest. She guides the matching underwear into place, ensuring it sits comfortably, then reaches for the long black strap dress, pulling it smoothly over his head and letting the fabric fall gracefully around his frame. With one arm, Evelyn removes Harlan's long pink hair from inside the dress and lets it playfully fall around his shoulders.
There.
Evelyn smiles, taking Harlan's shoulders to point him in the direction of his bedroom mirror.
See? Not so bad, huh?
Harlan can barely look at himself. His stance becomes very awkward, and he starts covering his chest and crotch with his arms.
I feel... odd.
He winces at his own reflection.
Is that really me? It is,
Evelyn says with a smile.
Your FemiNova form is amazing.
She touches Harlan's hair, letting it slip through her fingers.
That color. I'm almost a little jealous. I've got main character vibes,
Harlan quips, chuckling nervously at his own joke.
Oh, maybe I should show you my FemiNova form.
Evelyn suggests with excitement, reaching for her bracelet, holding her fingers on the charms.
Do you want to see what your mother looks like?
Harlan shrugs.
Yeah, I guess.
A blinding silver light erupts around Evelyn, shaking the room with its intensity. A fine, glittering mist wraps around her body as it pulses with energy. Her shape changes, smooths, and glows, her hair and eyes catching the light like shimmering silver. When the mist lifts, Evelyn stands transformed into her FemiNova form, a vision of grace and strength. Harlan stumbles backward, nearly losing his balance, as his mom towers at least a foot taller. Her hair glimmers with a shine of pure silver, and her eyes blaze a deep electric blue. Despite the awe-inspiring change, her gentle smile softens the intensity as she looks down at him with loving warmth.
Cool, huh?
Evelyn asks, standing directly behind Harlan as they both look into the mirror.
I guess you've never seen me looking like this. Or if you have, you had no idea I'm your mother.
Mom? Harlan says, looking up at her reflection.
You're massive.
Yeah. Evelyn rubs the back of her neck and looks away.
Your dad doesn't like me this way. Fragile masculinity, much.
As Harlan just continues to stare in awe, Evelyn reaches out with one hand.
Want to see what my grace does, Harley?
Harlan turns to look at her, blushing, as for the first time in a long while, he has to look up at his mother. Evelyn holds her hand out, and tiny sparks of blue-white electricity dance across her fingertips, crackling softly in the air.
I have a bit of control over electricity,
she explains with a smile.
It's not the most impressive grace ability, but it's enough to give a little shock or light up the room.
Awesome! Harlan stares at the light streaking across the gaps between her fingers.
Maybe.
Evelyn laughs, shutting off her power before putting a gentle hand on Harlan's shoulder.
It's only really useful if your phone's run out of battery, or if you've forgotten your charger.
Evelyn pats Harlan on the shoulder, almost making his knees buckle under the sheer weight of her hand. Even a gentle touch feels like being hit with a hammer.
Anyways,
Evelyn grins.
Shall we go downstairs? We still need to celebrate your big day.